My name is Mark, and if you had asked me 10 years ago, I would have told you I was one of the lucky ones. I had just started a new chapter of my life in Thailand. I had married a beautiful woman named Lena. I had bought land, and we had plans to build our dream home. I truly believed I was living the dream. It all started in 2012 when I first came to Thailand on a 2-week vacation. I was 50 years old, no kids, no ex-wife, just a man ready for a new life. Back in the UK, I had worked hard for decades. I was ready for sunshine, peace, and maybe even love. Thailand had always called to me, the food, the culture, the warmth of the people. During my second week in Bangkok, something unexpected happened. I met Lena. I was walking near Nong Kaim when I stopped into a quiet little cafe. Lena worked the counter. She was 27, petite, soft-spoken, and she had the kind of smile that could stop you in your tracks. We talked for a while. Her English was decent, and what we lacked in language, we made up for with laughter and curiosity. We clicked right away. Too fast, maybe. We spent every day together for the rest of my trip. We used Google Translate, hand gestures, and jokes to understand each other. It wasn't perfect, but it felt real. I felt young again, like I had found something worth holding on to. On my last day, Lena looked at me and said, "You come back soon, yes?" My heart skipped. I didn't know it yet, but that moment would change everything. A month later, I did come back. And this time, I wasn't leaving without her. Within 3 months of meeting, Lena and I were married. Everyone back home said I was rushing. But I didn't care. I was in love. I was starting fresh. I thought I knew what I was doing. Looking back now, I should have known better. Our wedding took place in Lena's hometown, a small, quiet farming village deep in Ubon Ratchathani. The landscape was wide and green, with rice fields stretching as far as the eye could see. It felt like a world away from the noise of Bangkok. And that's what I loved about it. The ceremony was beautiful. Not at all like a Western wedding. There were no white dresses or cake. Instead, there were monks chanting, strings tied around our wrists, guests pouring water over our hands while offering blessings. It was simple, spiritual, and strangely moving. I couldn't understand all the words, but I felt the love in the room. Her family welcomed me with open arms. At least, that's what I believed at the time. During the wedding week, Lena's older brother pulled me aside. He smiled and said in broken English, "You build house here for Lena. Big house, yes?" Then he laughed and raised his glass. I laughed too, but that comment stuck with me. I had read all the stories online. Foreigners buying land, building homes, losing everything in a breakup. I told myself I wasn't that guy. I was careful. I was smart. I didn't come to Thailand just to get played. Our honeymoon was in Luang Prabang, Laos. Lena said she'd never left Thailand before. She cried on the plane. Told me it was a dream come true. I believed her. I remember sitting next to her in a boat on the Mekong River, her head resting on my shoulder. I looked out at the water and thought, this is the start of something real. I thought I was the luckiest man alive. I didn't know I was building a life on quicksand. After we got back from Laos, Lena started talking more and more about building a house. She said her parents had some land they would give us for free. No need to buy, she told me. We build together, start our life. It sounded perfect. Free land, a peaceful village. A fresh start. I asked questions. Who would own it? How would it work? Lena told me, in Thailand, land must be in Thai name. But it's okay. I'm your wife. I wanted to believe her. She seemed so sincere. So I agreed. We got a local builder to draw up plans. A simple house, 2 bedrooms, big kitchen, a small office for me, and a veranda to sit outside in the evenings. That was my favorite part. I pictured us sipping tea there every night as the sun went down over the rice fields. The land was in Traken Phuet Phon, about an hour's drive from central Ubon. Quiet, no traffic, just frogs and crickets at night. I paid for everything. Clearing, the land, laying the foundation, all the way to the last bit of tile in the bathroom. All in, it cost me nearly 2.8 million baht. My savings. My future. The builder asked for documents. Lena said it was easier if she signed things. I asked the lawyer. He said it was common to give her power of attorney. Just for bills and basic things, he said. Makes life easier. So I signed that piece of paper. That one moment. I didn't know it at the time, but that was the moment everything started to go wrong. Lena handled the contractors, the payments, the paperwork. She seemed proud, grateful, and I felt good. Like I had done something meaningful. Like I was giving us a home, a future. I still remember the day we moved in. She stood in the kitchen, spun around, and smiled. Our house, she said. I believed her. At first, life in the new house felt like a dream. Lena decorated the place with little touches from the local market, woven mats, handmade curtains. A bamboo lamp, she said, reminded her of childhood. We'd sit on the veranda in the evenings, sipping tea and watching the sun go down. It was quiet, peaceful, but that peace didn't last. It started with small changes. Lena began spending more time in Ubon. Visiting cousin, she'd say. Sometimes she'd stay the night and come back the next day. I didn't want to seem controlling. I trusted her. She was my wife. Then she bought a new motorbike. When I asked about it, she said she paid for it with her savings. That confused me. I was the one covering all our expenses. Where did she get savings? One evening, she left her phone on the table. A message popped up in English. See you soon, honey. I stared at it. My stomach turned. When I asked her about it, she laughed, said it was just a friend. I wanted to believe her. I told myself maybe I was being paranoid, maybe it was a joke, maybe she was right, and I was just a tired old man looking for problems where there weren't any. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling. I tried to push the doubts away. I buried myself in little home projects. Planted a few banana trees. Started building a small tool shed. Lena didn't help. She didn't even pretend to care. Every time I asked her to help pick something for the garden or talk about adding a room, she brushed me off. Then I had to leave Thailand. My visa was expiring, and I needed to do a quick run to Laos to renew it. Just a few days. Lena said she'd take care of the house while I was gone. She kissed me at the bus stop and said, "Don't worry, I'll handle everything." I nodded and waved as the bus pulled away, but I should have known. That trip was the last time I would ever feel like the house was mine. I came back to Thailand feeling rested. Laos had been a smooth visa run, and I was excited to return home and see Lena. I even picked up a small gift for her from a street vendor, a handmade scarf I thought she'd love. But when I got back to our village, something felt off right, away. The gate to our property was chained shut. The plants in the yard were overgrown. The lights were off. It looked like no one had lived there for weeks. I knocked on the neighbor's door. They said Lena had left a while ago and hadn't returned. Confused, I called her. No answer. I texted her. "Lena, I'm back. Where are you?" She replied a few hours later with a simple message. "I'm in Bangkok now. Busy." I stood outside. That locked gate, heart pounding. Something wasn't right. I called her again and again. Nothing. The next morning, I went to see her cousin in Ubon. Maybe she knew more. The cousin looked nervous. "She's not here anymore," she said. "She moved to Bangkok last week." "Without telling me?" I asked. The cousin looked down. "She say you not together anymore." My chest tightened. I asked if she knew where Lena was staying. She shook her head. Then she added, "You should. Check online. Maybe you find something." That night, I searched Facebook Marketplace and Thai property forums. I couldn't believe what I saw. There it was, a listing for our house, full-color photos of the inside and outside, my veranda, our kitchen, our bedroom, for sale. And I wasn't even mentioned. I called the lawyer who helped us when we bought the land. He sounded tired when he picked up. I explained everything and begged him to help. He paused and said, "Mark, the house is in her name. You gave her power of attorney for all property matters. She had the legal right to sell it." My blood ran cold. I asked, "So she can sell the house I paid for without telling me?" He replied, "Yes, and she already did." I couldn't speak. She had sold the house, the land, everything. While I was away, she cleaned out our joint bank account, transferred the ownership, and disappeared. I wasn't just locked out of my home, I had been erased from it, and it was all legal. Everything I'd built, everything I'd trusted her with. Gone. I stayed in Ubon for a few more days, but I couldn't bear to be near the house. Every time I passed the road leading to it, I felt a twist in my stomach. So I left. I packed what little I had left and checked into a small guest house near the bus terminal. Just a basic room with a fan and a hard mattress. It felt like a prison cell, but it was all I could afford. I tried calling Lena again. Her number had been disconnected. I sent her messages online. They were all read, but none were answered. Then, one morning, I woke up to find myself blocked completely. Just like that. I didn't exist to her anymore. I didn't know who to talk to. I was too ashamed to tell my family back home. What was I supposed to say? That I'd met a woman in another country, married her, built her a house, and got robbed blind? That I was living in a room with a plastic chair and a leaky faucet because I trusted the wrong person? I sat in that room for nearly 2 weeks, barely eating. I replayed everything over and over in my head. The way she used to smile at me. The meals we cooked together, the plans we made for our garden. Were they ever real, or was it all a setup from the beginning? Eventually, word started to get back to me. A local man who knew Lena's family told me she had moved to Nikon Ratchasima with her real boyfriend. He said it as if it were common knowledge. Apparently, she had been seeing him for months, maybe even longer. They had taken the money from the house and opened a beauty salon together. So, that was it. I had been nothing more than a step in her plan. I wasn't angry anymore. I was numb. Everything I thought I was building had just been her escape route. While I was laying bricks and wiring up lights, she was figuring out how to cash out and disappear. It was like living in a dream, only to wake up and realize you were never the main character, just a guest in someone else's story. And now, I was back at square one. No house, no wife, no savings, just me and my regrets. But even then, a small part of me still hoped I could start over. I just didn't know how. Not yet. After everything that happened, I knew I couldn't stay in Ubon Ratchathani. The place felt haunted. Every street reminded me of the life I thought I was building. So I got on a bus with what little money I had left and headed for Khon Kaen. I didn't have a plan, I just needed a fresh start. I rented a small studio apartment above a pharmacy. The rent was cheap, the room was tiny, just a bed, a desk, and a sink. But it was mine. No one could take it away from me. That mattered more than I thought it would. To make ends meet, I picked up some part-time work teaching English at a local language center. The pay wasn't great, but it was honest. I taught a few classes a week, mostly kids and teenagers. They were polite, curious. One of them even gave me a small drawing with the words, "You funny teacher." I kept it taped to my fridge. A few months passed. Life was simple. I cooked my own meals, rode around town on a cheap scooter I bought second-hand. I didn't go out much, just took walks in the evening and sat at a local coffee stall to watch people go by. I didn't talk to anyone about what happened, not even when I got drunk one night and nearly did. I couldn't bring myself to say it out loud. Then one day, I met May. She worked at the pharmacy below my apartment. Always polite, always smiling. She was in her late 30s, a single mom with one son. We started talking here and there when I came downstairs. First about my cough, then about her favorite foods, then about her life. It wasn't fireworks. It was slow, gentle. After a few weeks, she invited me to join her and her son for dinner. Nothing fancy, just fried rice and soup. But I hadn't laughed that much in a long time. This time, I was careful. I didn't rush. I didn't spend money I couldn't afford. I didn't make promises I couldn't keep. We just got to know each other, slowly. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel like I was pretending. Now, 2 years later, I still rent that same room. I still teach a few classes. May and I see each other on weekends. We take our son to the park. Sometimes. We go to the temple. I don't own land. I don't own a house. Just a scooter, a beat-up phone, and a fridge covered in magnets and drawings. And I'm okay with that. I used to think owning a home was the dream. That settling down meant building something big and permanent. But now, I know that peace doesn't always come from bricks or paperwork. Sometimes it comes from starting small, from learning the hard way, from knowing who you are when there's nothing left. Lena took my land, my house, my money, but she didn't take me. I'm still here, still standing. And maybe, just maybe, this time I'll build something that lasts. That's all there is to tell. If you're watching this thinking, that would never happen to me, I hope you're right. I really do. But I said the same thing once. I thought I was smart, careful. Different from the other guys in the forums with horror stories. I thought I'd done my homework. I thought giving power of attorney was just about handling the electrics. Bill. I thought love meant trust. I was wrong. Thailand is still beautiful. The food, the people, the culture. It's easy to fall in love with all of it. And sometimes it's easy to fall for the wrong person too. Not every Thai woman is out to scam you. May is proof of that. There are good ones, honest ones. But the truth is, you don't know someone just because they smile at you, or cry at your wedding, or call you my heart. Time tells the truth, and I didn't give it enough time. If you're coming here with dreams of a new life, I'm not going to tell you not to chase them. Just don't hand over your life savings to someone who still uses Google Translate to tell you they love you. Don't put land in someone else's name and call it ours. And whatever you do, don't ignore the little warning signs just because everything feels perfect. Because when it falls apart, and sometimes it does, you'll wish you could go back and tell yourself to wait, to think, to slow down. Lost everything once. But I learned something too. And if telling this story helps one guy out there make a better choice than I did, then maybe it was worth it. Thanks for listening. Make sure to subscribe to Stories of Thailand, and I'll see you in the next one.